Hello, and welcome to a vlog that is starting on March 21st, which I believe is the first full day of spring. Like, yesterday was the equinox. I think today's the full first day. So, I'm feeling very springy. It's very sunny outside, and I'm ready for my plants to start growing. That would be ideal. So, what we're gonna do is I've already got dressed, and I put on the tiniest little bit of makeup. And we're going to go to Walmart, and we're going to see what plants they have. I need to buy a pot, so we can repot my micans, because I have two of them, and I want them together. I need like other stuff too. Like, I want to try some dry eye stuff, so maybe my eyes will stop gooping all the time. But the main thing is I want to look at plants, and I need to get a little Tupperware container for my sphagnum moss, because I just bought a whole bunch more, so that we can start doing propagations and stuff when things are growing. Yeah, I chopped up, I'll show you like plant updates later in this video, but I chopped up my Philodendron Brazil. It used to be right here, and I completely took it off the moss bowl and just hacked it up yesterday. So it's in perlite. I've never done a perlite propagation successfully before. I've only ever tried it one other time, and the cuttings I put in there completely rotted. So we're going to do that. I'm going to leave in about 5 minutes. I have the day off. We're going to go to Walmart. We're going to go to the Dollar Tree and Starbucks, of course. See you there. I got here to Walmart and immediately forgot that I was vlogging. So these are empty shelves. We're just going to re-go through the sort of gardening stuff, even though I've already been through it now. Lots of stuff for outside gardening, of course, as most people do. Just not people who can't get onto the ground because they're disabled. That is why I prefer my gardening. Gardening in my room. Maybe container gardening someday. These gloves are cute, the pink ones. I've had like 4 of those misters in my life, and I break them every single time, so we've just given up. Weed proof. Cute little lights. More cute little lights. Plant stands and trellises and that sort of thing. Over here is mainly where I wanted to go. I thought about buying one of these little plant stands, but I don't have a place for it, so I don't really need it. And I know a lot of people probably feel a certain type of way, but like, I really just like these black pots. I realize they're really dirty, but you just wipe them off. So like these pots, they have the thing at the bottom to hold water. I just take these off because I don't want it. There's like little feet on the pot at the bottom too. So I grabbed one of these, and there was only one. No, there's another small one. I grabbed one of those too because my stromanthe that I just bought, oh, I didn't realize there's more up there, needs a repot. Like, I bought it and the stuff is coming out the bottom. Let me just back up, because I really want to repot my Crocodum as well, but I'm not convinced I can carry a pot that big home by myself. I accidentally bought 2 of these pots as well, like, that are not black, they're like gray, but in the lighting of the other Walmart they looked black. But I don't even like them anyway, because the tops like flick out. These ones don't do that. Moisture meter, I don't even use those anymore. Soil test kits, lol, never done that before. Probably should. And then there's one more. Oh, there's this aisle of all these fertilizers. I don't know what it is about Miracle-Gro, but I just don't trust it. So I have that Pro Mix. Okay, I was gonna say, when I bought it, it was $3, but this is just in the wrong spot. I bought that. I've used it. I haven't noticed anything different yet. Lots of fertilizer. I bought that root booster one. It's what I'm using on my seeds, which you'll see later. And then lots of pesticide remover that I don't like. And then there's some more pots over here. Hold on. I'm pretty sure I said earlier in this video that the mask mandate ended today. And it's very interesting to see that there are people here without masks on, but like all of them are older. Like borderline elderly people. And everyone younger than that are still wearing masks. Like, you're old. You're the people that are going to get sick and get really, really sick. Maybe even die from COVID. Why are you not wearing a mask anymore? It's very strange to me. So I think these pots are kind of ugly. I just don't like white pots. And it's interesting to see that there are heat mats here, because when I wanted to buy heat mats a week ago, pretty much, they didn't have any here. And I don't like anything self-watering because I like to water. I live in my room. I work in my room. I like to do things. This is kind of cute. I don't really know what it's supposed to be, just like a vine. A trellis? Plant bracket. I don't know, man. Let's go find some actual plants now. They have these new self-checkout machines at Walmart. Look at how nice. Let me zoom out. My chair fits in them. I just pull right up. There's the card. There's the thing. And I just grab it. 10 out of 10 would recommend. So other than a display of flowers, these are the only plants I can find in Walmart. And they're all massive. There's a yucca cane, a Dracena marginata, I think. Some philodendrons. But this is it. I would have thought they would have more plants. But like there's that. There's a display behind them. I didn't even see it. Hold on. Zoom, zoom, zoom. I already checked out, but that's okay. I don't mind checking out a second time if I have to. Okay, here we go. Cactuses. Spider plant. It's a pretty little ivy. I can't even see up there. What is it? Little peperomias. Orchids. Aloe. Nerve plants. Crotons. ZZ plants. Oh, it's a turtle vine. That's a cute little turtle vine. I like him. I thought he's the only thing that I would see that I would ever consider buying. That's interesting. That's some kind of syngonium, I think. Beside the Pilea peperomioides. I've never seen one like that at Walmart. Ooh, look at this syngonium. $12.88 with a really big trailing jade in the background. Trailing jade? Regular jade? I don't know. I can't tell the difference. That's a good price. I don't have space for a plant that big, but that's good. Lots of little ivies and stuff. Smaller jades over here. Those are cute. My sister would say they look chewy. She likes to imagine that these are chewy. The ivies are really cute too, but I've never kept an ivy alive. So I guess this is their plant selection. I wonder if the grocery store across the street will have anything better. We're gonna look there too, okay? So overall, we definitely have a better selection of plants in the superstore. And these ones over here have names on them. This one says Oriental Dwarf Musa, which I have no idea what that is. They don't look well. This one's obviously a Schefflera. This, I'm assuming, is a Monstera Deliciosa. It just says Monstera, but yeah. These are two kinds of Alocasia over here. This one says Alocasia Pink Princess, which I've never heard of before. But interesting. I think this grassy looking one over here is some kind of Dracena, right? Oh, we're on a different brand now, so it might not say the name. Nope, tropical plant. That's it. I hate that. Little jades at the bottom. What are you? I like your trunks. Look how cool these look. What are you, though? Tropical plant care. Okay, great. Love that for me. Jade. Some flowers and stuff. These are Anthurium? Yes, Easy Care Anthurium. So that's an Anthurium too. Those are pretty. Although I really don't like Anthurium flowers because I just think they look like little dinkies sticking out. You know, like little willies. And then there's a second display over there. Hold on. Some large plants over here. Lots of big Monstera Deliciosas. I think this one might be a... I don't know. I can never tell the difference between Bird of Paradise and Peace Lily. That one's a Fiddly Fig. Dracena, a palm of sorts. And then we come over here and we get some smaller ones. Now, the frustrating thing is I have no idea what these two are. And there's no label on them, they just say foliage, which is like maybe one of my #1 pet peeves, like the things that blindly enrage me the most. This one kind of looks like the coffee plant that I used to have. But I have absolutely no way of verifying that. And then there's another one, oh, it's up here. I don't know, it almost looks like some kind of syngonium. But again, it just says foliage. Explore plants at wildinteriors.com. No, I'm not going to, because you don't even care enough to label them. Although the pots are cute, I will say that. This is obviously some kind of fern. I would assume it's a Boston fern. And then even down there with all these jade plants, it just says succulent. There's no price on these up here. The bottom at least says $9.98. Because if I knew what this one was, I would be tempted to buy it. Maybe not this one in particular, but I think it's a cute little bushy plant, but I don't know what it is, and how am I supposed to know how to care for it if I don't know what it is? Ooh, wait a second. They're only $5.49, $5.94. Well, that changes things. But I don't even know what they are. Update, I did it. I went to the Wild Interiors website, I tried to find them, and there's nothing that looks like these. Nothing, unless these are the syngonium that they have on the website, and they're just been terribly taken care of. Because everything else was like a spider plant, which I know what that looks like. A snake plant. A nerve plant, and like none of that is this. So I'm guessing this must be the syngonium. It just looks like do I buy one? Under the guise of bringing it back to life? Oh my god. Look at that. It's, hasn't seen moisture since the War of 1812. I could take it home, and I could give it a neem oil treatment. But I'm not like, I don't love it, and I really only want to start buying plants that I love, so maybe not. Okay, we're not going to buy it, but I wish I had. Okay, so we are back from my adventure. I'm really excited about this scoop at the dollar store. It was in the party section, so I think it's for ice, but it's going to be my little dirt trowel. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to unpot my 2 philodendron micans. I just watered them the other day, so the soil feels kind of heavy still. I'm wondering if the pot that I bought to put them in is a little too big. I don't think it really matters that much, but they're going to go in there together. And I'm very excited about this, but the most difficult thing is going to be getting them off of their current trellises, because they're both on one. So I guess I'll just start from the top. This one I only put on a couple of weeks ago, so it shouldn't be as hard. Okay. I'm also, like, notoriously, in everything that I do, not very gentle. So this is, like, going to be difficult for me. And I'm going to be putting them, so this trellis, this green one, is from Shein. And I think it's really cute. I actually really like it, but it came with 3, and I didn't realize this when I bought them, but they, like, really genuinely attach to each other. And I think that's so neat. So what we're going to do after we have these plants repotted and they're all together and everybody's a big happy family, I'm going to be putting all 3 trellises together and allowing this plant to climb up them. I didn't realize they fit together when I bought them. Okay, so that one was actually not as hard as I thought it was going to be. We'll just take that out. So when I bought this Philodendron micans, it was only a couple of leaves up here. This is how long it's grown in the not very long time that I've had it. I am considering cutting some of these off the end because they seem to be getting quite small, but the moon one is going to be harder because it's been on this trellis 3 times as long. And the sections are much smaller, and I was much more creative when I put them together. Like, I really shoved big pieces through little tiny holes. How am I supposed to get this part? So we're going to pull this super long branch. I really want to cut that leaf off. Look at it. I think that's it. Okay, so this is how this one has grown. It actually doesn't look as long as I thought it did. What's interesting to me about this one in particular is that it has these big long stretches with no leaves. And it almost, like it almost makes you want to chop it. Like, I could cut this, and cut this, and cut this, and then propagate this whole vine in water. I just bought new sphagnum moss. Like, I could really propagate this. The other one I don't want to propagate because the leaves look nice. This one has a couple of leaves that I want off anyway. Like, this leaf is hideous. We'll just break that off. Do I trellis it? Do I chop it? I think I just trellis it for now. So we're just gonna take this out. Oh, wow. Look at those roots. Baby, you were doing so good. Now we take this one out. First, we're actually just going to throw some dirt in the pot here. So we're going to use my dollar store trowel. So now we have one in. We're just going to lift all the leaves, move them forward, and then we're going to put the other one in. And not kill it. This one must have been the one that was on my desk rather than the one that was up top there because it feels drier. And over by my desk is a much drier environment. Oh, something is stuck. Oh, it's got one root that grew through the holes at the bottom. Let me just pull it out. There we go! That's quite a root ball too. Not as impressive as the other one. I'm getting dirt everywhere. We're just gonna throw her in there. This is like the first full plant that I've ever kind of grown mostly sort of by myself. Like, instead of buying it big. So we're just gonna shovel some more dirt in here. This is straight up going to use all of the dirt that I have in here. Stop crunching! Who doesn't love repotting plants on the first day of spring? Maybe just a little more dirt. I have to mix some more dirt by the end of this video, and I just mixed new dirt like 2 days ago! And I don't have any reptibark left. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to go grab the other two trellises. If I can remember where they are. So they just kind of snap together. And then I'm going to order another pack because you only get 3 in a pack, but there's no way to attach the third one in the middle. So it's going to have to go on one side. You know what I mean? So we're going to go Oh, wait, I didn't even think, because they're bendy. I can just... This is heavy as fuck. I'm not convinced I'm going to be able to water this plant by myself. Oh my god, I'm already overwhelmed. Why did I do this? Oh no, it's come to my attention that I might not be smart enough for this. Okay, so this is the finished pot of philodendron micans. It's actually much fuller looking down at the bottom here than I expected it to. This leaf doesn't look very happy, but that's fine. And then, of course, it trails all the way up. This vine, I guess we're going to chop and prop, because I didn't cut it off. I went to move something, and I moved this, and it's not like I felt it come off of anything. I was just like, wow, there is no resistance on this vine at all, and it was already not attached. So there's a couple of spots I could cut that up. I actually have sphagnum moss, like I said, so I'm thinking I'll just maybe propagate it in sphagnum and then plant all the pieces down in the bottom here. So what I'm thinking for this, because the original plant was up, my desk is so freaking messy right now, I'm so sorry, was up here, and it's now too big for there, but what if I move the middle, or the smallest brushes in the front, because they're the main brushes I use, and then I put the plant there. So I'm going to try that and see how it works. Okay, so now that we figured out the situation with the philodendron micans, I really need to pot up this stromanthe that I bought a few weeks ago, because she is hella coming out the bottom, like hella coming out the bottom. Now, I actually did buy one of those pots, like I just put the micans in, for this plant, but unfortunately I just tested it on my little plant stand with the Fiddly Fig that's already there, and they just barely don't fit there together. So instead, we're potting it up into this pot, which I already have, which had another plant in it. And it's still bigger than the one that it's currently in. It's just not as much bigger. I'm going to mix all of this dirt from the micans into my dirt so that, because it's still good. There's a lot of new growth on this bad boy. Oh, and one crispy leaf. So I don't know how to get this out. I've never taken a plant out with so much rootage sticking out the bottom. So we're just going to do... Oh. Never mind. It just came out. I'm not even going to try to break up that root ball. I'm just going to stick it in here. I'm just going to scoop some of this dirt into here. Just a little bit. That might even be too much. I really like these little pots. They're quite cute. Yeah, that works. That was actually the perfect amount of bottom dirt, because it just kind of just sits at the top. So now we're just going to fill the edges. We're going to move the plant away from the edge. And we're going to use my little fingies, and we're just going to push some of the dirt down into the spaces. And then something I really like to do after I repot a plant is make sure that the next time I water it, because I'm usually a bottom waterer, right, just because I find it less messy and it's just a little bit easier because I don't have to worry about taking my plants somewhere and not making a mess. Like, I can just sit them in water and let them hang out. I just have to remember to top water, because I do prefer to top water after they've been repotted. So this is the stromanthe repotted. I think it looks ugly in this pot. I think it was way cuter in its short little orange pot, but it really needed the extra space to grow. So I don't know. I mean, we'll see. It did need the extra space. It was really coming out the bottom, so we'll just... I like to put whatever side I think needs the light more towards the plant light, so I think it's this side for right now. Oh, there goes my grabber. I'm trying to clean up my plant mess, and he just decides to lay on the floor in the middle. Like, Lena at least is over using her scratchy thing at the door. He just lays down. Like, Charlie, I understand you were a good boy at the vet today. It was just a checkup. Not even a checkup. It was like booster shots or something. So he's fine. But, like, this doesn't mean you can lay on the middle of the floor while I'm trying to do stuff. I mixed up some more dirt so that the next time I want to repot something, I don't have to do it. So what we're doing now is we're going to take my little plant shears and we're going to cut this up. we're going to leave a node per leaf. This is actually funny because I did just buy the containers for the sphagnum moss today. And I really want to try some wet sticks. I'm going to chop those too. So a wet stick is when you have nodes but no leaf. And the worst thing that can happen is they don't live, you know? And I have that whole full plant over there, so. And I did pre-clean my shears with a little bit of, honestly, I just sprayed them with isopropyl alcohol. I get as many cuttings as I can. I'm trying to cut in the middle, right between two nodes. And then we're just going to leave these... I'm going to pull this little leaf off that never quite came to be. And then I think I'm going to leave... Do I leave this cutting whole? Or do I cut it in half? I think I leave it whole. And then we're just going to leave these sitting here for an hour or two. Let the ends callus over, give them a chance. And then we're going to boil some sphagnum moss. Put them in there. Put it over near the sun. Hopefully some magic happens. So now we're just going to take this bowl. We're going to put some sphagnum moss in it. I'm going to... last time I had this box of sphagnum moss, I didn't use a knife to cut open the tape, and I ended up mangling the box, and it made my life more difficult moving forward. So this time, we're going to try to open it nicely. Please pray for me, because sphagnum moss makes a ton of mess. Okay, so that might be enough. I'd rather boil not enough than too much, because we can always boil more. So, I'm not going to take you into the other room with me while I put boiling water in this. But it's going to come like immediately back. And then it's just going to sit here and stew. And then in an hour or so, we're going to put it in the other container and put these in there with it, okay? After I put the boiling water in here to kind of help keep it hot, like, I was like, okay, this is hot, and now this, the suction, I can't get the two bowls apart. Okay, there we go. I don't know if it's picking up all that steam, but that's a lot of steam. So I'm just going to continue to let this sit until it's not boiling, and then we're going to put the sphagnum moss into this little lunch container I bought at the dollar store. And then we sit all the pieces on top. And then we put it like that, and we put it near the sun, and hopefully they grow roots and they don't rot. Like my poor begonia once rotted. We'll see. I don't have the camera. It's very difficult to get myself and the table in frame. We'll see what works. It's go time. This is still kind of warm, but obviously I can pick it up so it's not, like, hot anymore by any means. So we're just going to pick it up. We're going to squish it. I shouldn't have put that so far away from me. Put that one there. That one there. There we go. So now we just put the lid on. And then we will go sit this over with the witch by the window. And she will be good to go. If I can get it shut properly. Because there's also a possibility that Charlie will knock it over. And I don't want it to open. Okay, all done. Happy Tuesday morning. It's so early in the morning that my plant lights haven't even gone on yet. And I haven't even refilled the humidifier yet. But I thought I would take this sort of early-ish opportunity to take you through all my plants and show you what I have and what's growing, because it is spring now. So we have some stuff growing. Finally. Charlie is asleep on my bed. Yeah, okay. So we'll start on my desk, I guess, because we're just already over here. So this is that Philodendron micans that I potted up yesterday. I'm still not really sold on it over here. I think it might be a little too big for this space. Like, it just is taking up a lot of room. It might have to go somewhere else, but I'm not convinced. This little cauldron pot that Emily, my big sister, made me for my birthday is what one of the Philodendron micans was in before. So I just put this little Aglaonema in it. It doesn't fit quite right, but it's close enough. I got this, what is this? Silvery Ann? Scindapsus pictus of sorts? Satin pothos, whatever you want to call it. It's just a little, I bought it for like a couple of bucks at the plant store, and then all my crystals are behind it. And then, of course, over here in the corner, away from everyone else, is my beloved ZZ plant. It's actually doing quite well in this new pot. That big frond in the middle, that's like really tall, was completely leaning back when I put this pot over here and when we repotted it, and it stood itself up completely. So it's doing well. Over here, behind Peach, we have this Ficus teneki, I think it's called. Or is it a Ficus ruby? I think it might be a ruby. I don't remember. But it's cute. I just bought it recently. It's doing well. It's in this cute little pot. And then, of course, we have all the plants in Roger's tank, which are doing quite well. This golden pothos in the back really bothers me because it's a golden pothos. So it should be growing great. But I've had it in here for almost 2 years. And it has barely grown. So that's great. So there's that. There's a broken piece of ZZ plant that I just stuck in there. And the snake plant, which is Roger's pride and joy. And then on top, that was where the other Philodendron micans was. So that's a Ficus dorado that I just bought the other day. And I literally bought it because I thought it was cool. Moving over here, we have this fake succulent. And then these are a lot of my propagations. Nothing has rooted yet, even though it's been like weeks for some of them, but that's okay. There's a Philodendron micans in there, I think. Maybe 2. A bunch of Philodendron Brazil. And then 1 piece of Peperomia obtusifolia. And then over here we have the only surviving baby from my mother's former massive spider plant. And then we come over here. This is my Fiddly Fig. It did have 3 leaves, but all of this stuff fell over the other day, and it knocked the 3rd leaf off, but it is growing. There's a new leaf there. There's a tiny new leaf. So, I don't know. We're going to hope for the best. This is my stromanthe that we just repotted yesterday. My Rattlesnake Collection, not doing so well. Crispy ends. I'm hoping it puts up some new growth this year, finally. My Alocasia Polly, which last year I killed one over the winter. So I don't know how this one has stayed alive, but it's still here. My little Pilea peperomioides. What's this one called? Drazina Twisty. I don't know. It's there. Her name is Lucinda. And Sam has to water her for me because the pot that my mom put her in is too heavy for me. This is my Marble Queen pothos, and she's doing the most. She's putting out so much growth. Look at all this. So much. I'm just very excited for her. In here is a little Hoya Carnosa. Just tiny, not growing a whole lot. This is my string of hearts, which I'm very proud of because I've never had a string of hearts put out new growth before. And it's really putting out a whole lot of new growth. It's got that one there, a whole bunch at the bottom. It's just overall doing really well. The little heart-shaped one down here is a Hoya Carnosa. I always thought they were kind of ugly and stupid because they're just little heart-shaped things. But I was watching Benji plants, and he has a big vine of them, and they look really cute as a big vine, so that's what I'm hoping for. This is my Hoya Carnosa. Hasn't done anything in a while. It's got some little new baby leaves coming out, but they're really small, and it's taking forever. This is my prized Begonia Immaculata. It's doing the most right now. It's got a whole bunch of new leaves coming. I like the way that they come out. Like, they, like, the little stick part gets, like, pregnant, and then they, like, unfold out like an alien baby. It's really cool. I really hope this plant gets, like, nice and big and healthy, and so far, so good. Behind it, we have my Maranta that is doing too much. I've had to cut so much of this Maranta off, and I have to keep staking it up, and like I might have to start getting rid of pieces of it because it's just so big. And then, of course, behind the begonia are my seeds. So, what's going on here? So this is one of those bakeware cauldrons that we got at Michael's in January, and it is on top of a mug warmer. So the mug warmer, at its hottest, gets to about 40 degrees Celsius. So it's not too hot, and the idea is that it warms the seeds just enough, and then the light, and then I keep it. So that's the goal. Like I was saying, I don't have a whole lot coming up there yet, but I'm hopeful because I did have a whole bunch more, and then I started this, and I think it was too hot for some of the sprouts that I already had, so we're kind of just trying again. I have this hideous succulent back here. We're just letting it try. Coming back up here, I have this begonia that I really feel like maybe I should just throw out, but it is trying to put out new little leaves and stuff now. This is the plant that you can see that I chopped off the tops of the sticks, and I tried to propagate them in perlite, and they rotted. So, whoops. So we're just kind of, it's an experiment right now. This is my, I think it's called a Piper Crocodum. For the longest time, I only had the one vine that you're seeing up here, and then my sister and I went to the watering can the other day, which is a local plant store, and they had this sort of short, bushier one, so I bought it and then potted them together. So we're hoping for the best here. This is a Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. It started putting out a new little leaf up here, so it's happy. This Monstera Deliciosa is like my prized possession, because when I got it, it was only these smaller leaves at the bottom, really, and then each new leaf it's put out is just bigger and bigger and more beautiful. Like, look how massive that leaf at the back is, and that's the most recent one to put out. So I'm hoping within the next couple leaves we start getting some of those slits, some of those fenestrations. That would be really cool. I'm really excited for that. This is Picket. He's my plant protector. And beside him is, I think it's just a neon pothos. I like them. I think it's cute. And then we have the umbrella plant, a Schefflera arbicolia. This is my third time trying one of these, and I think in the past I just overwatered them, because this time I've kept it alive longer than any of the other ones, and it seems to be okay. Behind it, hidden in the back, is my Dracaena Janet Craig, which you can't really see, but that's okay. That was, I think, the first plant I ever bought. So she's still here. Up here, this is my very tiny little pink princess philodendron. She's putting out a new leaf against that one in the middle. She's doing great. Monstera Adansonii here with that new leaf coming in up there. Peperomia obtusifolia right here, doing okay. Tiny little snake plant, tiny little dumpkin, another piece of silver satin pothos or silverian, whatever it's called. And then under that actually is a jar. Not sure if you can see it. Yeah, this jar here is full of perlite, and it's got the rest of the cuttings from my Philodendron Brazil. So we're going to see how that goes. I'll probably check on them once every couple of days or something, let them air out. And then in the skeleton planter, I just have a golden pothos and pieces of my old Monstera Adansonii. Am I missing anything? Oh yeah, there's a little aloe down there buried in the corner. I've also got my croton, of course, and my big snake plant over there. And then I've got a little Haworthia over with my falling over pop figures. And then the micans that we cut up and propagated yesterday sitting with the witch in the corner. And then this is Charlie. So overall, my plants are doing great. I think almost everything is putting out a new leaf. Even the Piper Crocodum has a little tiny leaf nub. The only one that's not doing very well that I wish was doing well is this Rattlesnake Collection. I keep thinking about throwing it out and buying a new one, because now I kind of know how to take care of them. But I just can't bring myself to throw out a plant that's alive, you know? Like, it's not dead. This is my mushroom, by the way. I wanted this mushroom so bad. It's from Canadian Tire. And I wanted it for my birthday. And no one bought it for me. So I had to buy it myself. But Alyssa took me to get it, so she gets par points for that. Yeah, I think that's all of my plants. Oh, and this little wandering dude over here. I've never had luck with these, but this one was only a couple of bucks. So, he's here. I think that's everything, unless I find another one. So this is the kettle, and we're just going to take the boiled water to fill the humidifier. And then we're going to fill this bowl a little bit too, because some of my seeds are starting to look a little dry, so we're going to water those. I use boiled water, like not boiling, like I let it cool down, but for my humidifier and for a lot of my plants, because things like begonias, probably the Piper Crocodum, they can't take tap water because there's like stuff in it that they can't process, so by boiling it, a lot of that burns off. So I'm just going to go put the kettle back, and then we're going to let these cool down, and then we're going to start watering my seeds when it cools down, just to bring that home. So we're just going to add root booster. And then 1, 2, shit. They really only take a second or two to soak up the water. We'll use the next two. Then we put them all back in the cauldron. Okay, then we're gonna go turn the mug warmer on and the light. And this actually does feel quite dry, so I'm just going to sit it in the rest of the water. And then we're done. So I was going to shoot some of the watering that I had to do today. I wanted to water the stromanthe and the philodendron micans that we just potted up, and just do a couple of other little maintenance things. But this video was already 40 minutes long, so we're just going to end it here. I really hope you liked it. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. You subscribe. Let me know if you don't mind these sort of just all-encompassing plant chores videos, because I liked making this one and I'd like to do more if you'd like more, so just let me know if you don't mind. The purpose of these kind of videos is just to put on while you're doing other stuff. It's just like, I'm doing plant chores with you if that's what you have to do, that sort of thing, like just to hang out. There's no really real rhyme or reason the way there are with some of my other videos, but nonetheless I think they're fun, and this is mainly the kind of content that I watch on YouTube, is people just doing plant chores and that sort of thing. So I decided I would start to make some more. Let me know if you like that. Let me know if you don't like that. Whatever you want to see, I would love to know. So again, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, and I will see you next time. Bye!